Okay, everybody, this is Resistance. Oh, lights. This is Resistance Podcast. Lights. This is Resistance Podcast number 2. I told you we'd do a lot of different things here. So right now I'm going to teach you how to cook something. Before I do, I realize this is called the Resistance Podcast. I've been away from the States for 20 years. So the Resistance happened, when I was, I don't know, somewhere in Germany, Saarbrücken, I think. And I followed it. I I hated Trump like everybody else. I thought the world was coming to an end, which some version of the world is definitely coming to an end. I thought, my migration politically is my business, but it took me away from things like the Resistance and MSNBC and stuff. And that's neither here nor there. So I'm still going to call it the Resistance Podcast because if you think about it, probably one of the reasons we're in this situation, and I'm talking about the whole thing for the past, 20 years since I decided to leave. Thank you, George Bush. I left on September 3rd, 2001, and went to live on Corfu Island with my wife at the time in her native island in her family home. And I watched the the attack on 9/11 on a TV set while I was taking a nap in my mother-in-law's home. So that's where I've been, not there, not in the States. Anyway, we're talking about resistance because probably you wouldn't need an idiot like our president if people had just gone for their dreams instead of some fantasy of power and white male dominance like that was ever missing from anywhere in our history, which began with a genocide and was aided by slavery. There, I won't say anymore. This thing, why am I teaching you how to cook, and why is it connected to resistance? Because if cooking is a metaphor, then sometimes we don't cook what we want because we think it takes too much time and effort. We'll have to clean the vegetables, we'll have to do this and that, and so we don't cook. We usually end up going out or just sort of resigning ourselves to the fact that we can't eat the way we want to, and I think that's bull. So I'm going to show you how fast it is. I'm going to make now something I like to call, I don't know if this exists in Greek cooking. Spanakórizo is spinach rice, and it's very good for your stomach. I make it with, with onions, basically, and then lemon and feta. But I've also introducing Araká, which is peas. So this is real-time preparation. I'll show you how long it takes to make Spanakórizo me Araká. Spinach rice with peas. Okay, ready and timing. So here we go. I'll take out a smaller pot. I cook for two, so this really works. Now look how fast this goes. Some people think I'm crazy when it comes to cooking because I throw in whole onions and things like that. In this case, I won't. I'm just going to go. Ready? Okay, so frozen spinach. Dump that. Good. An onion. Done. Onions are very, very wonderful things. My lovely wife Yorinda is a vegetarian, full vegetarian, and I have been on and off. And I realized just living with her and living like a vegetarian, nothing's missing. I feel pretty good. And by the way, cheap. And I think we gotta get out of the habit of spending a lot of money on food. I think it's something doesn't sit right when part of the world gets to eat fresh, organic, and yes, fair trade produce, and the rest of the world, can't find a loaf of bread. I lived in Zimbabwe for 2 months. Very poor country, and I lived in a ghetto, and I had no money. That's the story for a different podcast, how that happened to me. But I learned a lot about food there, where sometimes breakfast was just climbing up a mango tree and getting what was ripe, and often that was nothing because there was a 3-week drought, and this was just last December. But I did a lot of cooking for my host family, and we shared what we had. And I really started to realize when it comes to cooking, first of all, cooking and sharing food is about the most wonderful experience of human existence, I think. It's a really loving act, and I'm sure you make people happy when you give them something to eat that you, rather than did a lot of fancy shopping, that you do it from your heart. So here go the onions. Put some olive oil in here, just whatever you can find. Olive oil here. Okay. Turn up that heat. So why is cooking a metaphor for resistance? Well, once you see that you can cook well, cheaply, and quickly, so that you can actually do something with the rest of your day, then you get over that resistance hump, and you start treating yourself a little bit better. These are peas. These are all going in. There that goes. And now we're going to do the rice, because I think if you put things together in the right order, I don't know, what was that? Your cup of rice, 2 people, whatever was left in here. There are no mistakes in cooking, just like in life, really. You see what you get here. And then you decide what to do to make it work. So that's like life too, because you never put your goals to the exclusion of reality. And I think it's important that when we keep our eye on our goals, whether that's saving the world, losing weight, getting involved in your neighborhood projects and things like this. Oh God, I lost my train. Like we do. Yeah, that you keep your eye on reality at the same time. So if it doesn't go exactly the way that you planned it in your ideal scenario, look at what you got. So now I got onions, hard rice, frozen spinach, and peas. And if it looks like what I thought I wanted it to look like, great. And if it doesn't, then either I change what I'm doing, some salt. I can change the meal completely. I can adjust the dream and still be on track and not feel like I've somehow lost some contest of who can make their actual dream scenario into their reality. It doesn't work like that. I think you keep yourself open. You keep yourself open for what, the universe, what the world presents to you. And maybe you take your ego out a little bit so that, it doesn't have to be your way. It can be the way, the essence of what you want it to happen. If you're helping people, who cares if you thought it was going to be through, being a doctor, and in fact it's through being an elephant farmer, an elephant, what do they have? Yolinda wants to work in an elephant nursery, maybe for orphan elephants, things like this. Is that bad? Does the feeling, the heart of your dream still beat with a pulse? And I think it probably does, as long as you're doing it for yourself and not for everybody else. Here's a cup of water. The spinach was frozen, so I don't think the rice needs 2 cups of water. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this kind of openly, and then I'm going to see if it needs more water or less. There we go. No recipes needed, right? You just listen to your instincts. Now, here's the special ingredient, which I still have left over. Always have some like dill and parsley in your house, because you'll be happy. You'll be trying to make something and you say, what's missing? It's probably dill. It's probably dill. Okay, and while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a joke. This is a joke about the resistance problem of age. It's not really intended for that purpose, but who knows? Maybe I'll retrofit it. So an old man goes to a doctor and he says, Doctor, help me. Doctor says, what's wrong? The old man says, I can't pee. And the doctor says, well, how old are you? Man screams, I'm 92 years old. And the doctor says, you peed enough. So, there you go. Now here's what we're looking at. Let me see, where are you? Oops. Oh God, hope we're still recording. Okay? So here's your Spanakórizo me Araká. We're going to learn Greek too. It just has olive oil. It has onions. It has frozen spinach. It has peas in a jar. It's got salt. It's got water. And it's got dill, the magic ingredient for happy living. Now, oh, ouch. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll turn this one down. I think I'm going to put a little black pepper. I learned a lot from my ex, well, my late ex. First she was late. Now she's my ex-late mother-in-law. Little woman Katerina from the small island of Kerkira, which is actually not so small. It's Corfu. I recommend visiting. I do not recommend living there. And if you ever think about living on an island, please talk to me first. It has a lot of good things and things you may not like about it, especially when it comes to freedom and getting people to try new things. Islanders, not so much. That's pretty good. I think I may have something here. So, I don't know how long that took. It was a joke and a little story. And now I can put the lid on my resistance spinach rice with peas. And remember, it's more important to get some food in your stomach than to make the perfect meal. So while you're doing this, then you can go over to your desk, which is what I'm going to do, and start writing a children's book about resistance. That's it for today, or for now. Who knows? I'll probably be back to show you how to make a cappuccino in a minute. Okay, keep dreaming, and don't forget, wish obstacle sentence. Very important. Barbara Scher's invention for solving all problems. Don't just tell your wish to somebody, tell them your obstacle. I would like to eat healthier, but I don't have the time. There's a solution. Let's solve each other's problems. Let's all go for the dreams that we really want, not concentrate on minor details. I saw a beautiful poem by one of my super team sisters, and I'm going to read it to you now, because I think I can. Let's see. Okay, she's also made these beautiful, I'm calling them wish flowers, with all the elements of her dream and what she would love to be doing with her life. Well, did I not find it? I'm sure I'll mess this up somehow. I'm going to ask her to send it in when she watches this, so look in the comments below. It's about joy and a kind of rebellious act when you take joy in your hands and spill it all over the white carpet of your culture's expectations of you. Keep your eye on the prize. Help each other out. Wish obstacle sentence. If you tell people that, you'll get anything you want. I promise, and it's guaranteed by my mom, Barbara Scher, smiling down at all of us. So, see you next time. Guten appetit. Kali orexi in Greek.